Oh, you already know what it is. It's the fastest 30 minutes in all of sports. G. Bush is back in the building. I had to take over the sticks again. They had Earl. You know how you leave somebody, they had all the stuff just moved around. Just, you know how somebody just comes to your house and babysit. You be like, bro, I do not put my stuff over there. Shout out to Earl and Mikey McNuggets for taking over for me while I was out ill. Tyvis Powell is back in the building. What's up, Tyvis?
What's going on, man? It's nice to hear your voice again, man. You know, you was down and out for a couple days.
Down and out. No one keeps me down forever. We back at it, and we got a lot to talk about. Let's get it popping. The first thing we need to get to is the breaking news right now. Mike Vrabel joins the Cleveland Browns staff as a consultant. Tyvis, the internet is going crazy. Twitter is tripping out because people is looking around like, hey, listen, what does this mean for Kevin Stefanski? What does this mean for the Cleveland Browns? I mean, you know, people talk about we all over the place being too negative. But let me tell you, before I ask you, bring you in, ask your opinion of it, I love the move. I absolutely love the move because the great thing about it is, man, you know, Jason Lloyd always talks about how it's always good to have another football mind in the business, man, another football mind in the pot. And when we talk about, you know, sports and everything like that, we love to talk and sit down with the vets and the people that actually played and done it at high level because they can always bring something new to the table. And so when I look at Mike Vrabel, him being the coach of the year just 2 years ago, you look at what he's able to do with Tennessee. We thought this guy was going to be one of the guys who was going to be one of the first dudes taken off the list of guys that were sitting out or being a head coach this year. It looks like was gonna sit out a year. He was rumored for the Ohio State position or whatever the case may be. And you know all too well in Buckeye Land how much we love Mike Vrabel in this state. Tyvis, when you look at Mike Vrabel, what is it that you like about this move? And are you as excited about having another bright mind in the building as I am?
First of all, I got to start off by saying go Bucks. I mean, anytime you can have just more Buckeyes in your building, you automatically get better from that standpoint. No, I love the move. I mean, the one thing about Mike Vrabel is he brings that toughness, you know, and that experience. I think last year, I said it on the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show either yesterday or a couple of days ago. You know, I was saying that when you looked at this team, Jim Schwartz came in there and he changed the attitude and the toughness and the mindset of this team. He made them a much more tougher team. And I think when you add a guy like Mike Vrabel, who built his whole program off of toughness, you add another voice in there. And on top of that, listen, he played linebacker for the New England Patriots where he won a lot of Super Bowls. Just him being in that room, you already had DeQuell in there, and we watched JOK take a huge leap. What will help JOK take another step, or the rest of these linebackers take another step, is another guy who knows the game inside and out who can get to him. And like I say, just from a standpoint of him bringing that attitude, that toughness, because I was with him. He was a coach at Ohio State when I was here for, I think, like my first 2 years. He was a coach here. So I know the type of attitude and the type of passion and energy that he brings. He will get the best out of these players. You know, just having another guy that's played the game in that locker room will help you out. Also, you know, Kevin Stefanski, I don't think he has to worry about his job or anything like that. I don't think that's why they brought him in here to say, oh, Kevin, if you don't get it together, we're going to get a job to him. No, that's not the case.
That's wild.
This man, Kevin Stefanski, just won his second coach of the year. They will be getting an extension at some point, probably sooner than later. So I don't think that they have to worry about that. I just think that having more experience, Super Bowl experience, helping a young head coach, because Kevin Stefanski's only been a head coach for what? This would be his fifth season as a head coach. So it's still things that he needs to learn as well. But to get other minds in there only helps you. To me, it's an all-in move. I think that they look at this season like they really want to do something spectacular, and they're getting all hands on deck, whether that's players, coaches, front office people, whoever. If it's going to help us win a Super Bowl, then we are doing it this year, and that's what this move tells me.
Man, JDog66 checks in and says, yes, variable in the house is great. The more qualified eyes in the house, the better. Soul Train taps in. He says, G. Bush, man, Browns defense is already good. Now they level up. You know what I love about this? I love, like, I see him sitting around the table, like the council. You know what I'm saying? Just sitting around the council table and they going over game plans and they cooking up something to stop Patrick Mahomes. And Vrabel says, "Listen, when I was at Tennessee, we was doing this." And Jim Short says, "Yeah, I like that plan a lot." And then you got Ken Dorsey and Tommy Reese and all these guys that are giving different trains of thoughts to the different ways that you can go about attacking these great quarterbacks and teams. Right. And for anybody that's tripping, Tyvis, I don't think they understand the philosophy that the Browns was on.
I don't see what is there to trip about. Like, what is there to trip? Listen, I look at this move. I'll give you an example of why this move is a great move. You remember when we played the Texans in the playoffs? You remember it was a viral clip that went out there where D'Amico Ryans talked to his linebacker and said, "Hey, do this," and then when he looks this way, take off. Now you got another guy like Mike Vrabel who can do those exact same things, and it hits harder because Mike Vrabel played in the NFL. When you got a guy who's played the sport, you tend to listen to them and you take what they say with literally and apply it right now. And I think Mike Vrabel can have that same effect. Like I say, JOK was really good last year. This is a contract year for JOK. So they're helping him get more money by being able to be more smarter, being where you need to be, seeing things quicker. That's what this move means to me. I don't understand why there is no downside to this at all. I don't know where the negativity can come from.
Tyvis, we got a special guest in the building, the Grand Wizard himself. Steve Becker pulls up and says, "Eagles versus Browns in the playoff or Super Bowl." You would say that, wouldn't you? He loves his Eagles. Shout out to us, Steve.
y'all got bigger fish to fry. Did they name an OC and a DC for them? Because y'all got other things to worry about. The Super Bowl thing is a little far fetched. I like the Saquon thing, but y'all got a long way to go.
Hey man, he gonna bring that dog. DeAndre Black says, Shad says, Vrabel talking Stefanski job is a bigger cap than Earl saying that he ain't cutting his hair for $100K. Hey Earl, I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. Like I feel like I would have to question you, Earl, if you don't take the bag for the locks. I understand it's a spiritual journey for you, but we can get spiritual after that $100K.
I don't know, G. That people take that hair thing seriously.
Oh man, listen, that's
I tell you, that's one of those things. If they put the money on it right there on the wood, he think about it for sure. He contemplating like 100,000 right there in your face. Oh yeah, you definitely consider.
That's crazy. The money on the wood, like you know what you got to say after that. Pause, man. That was crazy, bro. Tyvis, what's up? What's up? Man, we got 149 people in here. Make sure you hit that like button. Stop playing with us, man. I like what y'all doing at these other shows, man. Shout out to Earl the Pearl. Earl the Pearl messing around, flirting around with a triple-double. Got about 9,000 views. McNuggets is breaking news. Listen, Steve, you got to tell them 30,000 is Browns views. Them ain't no Cavs views. Them 30 racks that you gave McNuggets, that got to go on Browns or that got to get split up. I don't want to see at the end of the year McNuggets talk about, I had 100 million. You know, that was a Browns. No, I'm playing with y'all. Shout out to everybody. Speaking of, when we get back, we're gonna talk about, man, this was a tough one. The best man for the job, was it Flacco or Winston? Or was it just a little political? We're going to talk about it. We're going to be lighthearted about it as well. Coming back, it's your boy G. Bush and it's Tyvis on the Ultimate Cleveland Browns Show. You already know what I said. I already talked about it earlier. Shout out to Earl the Pearl. Shout out to Mikey McNuggets. They held me down when I was sick. They came over, they did the Ultimate Browns. But they just don't be on the deck. They don't be on deck just waiting. They got their own shows too. Thursday at 5:00. Make sure you check out the Ultimate 216. Earl the Pearl is in there doing some really good things. He had Quincy Carrier on the other day. Make sure you check out that. Go check that episode. Subscribe to the channel so you know when the Ultimate 216 is coming on. And you can only find it on the UCSS network. So, Tyvis, we get right back into them, and I'm gonna start with a clip right here, man. We talked about this, and I was very specific. On the internet, people was a little salty at me and said, "G. Bush, how you gonna say this? What you mean?" I said, "Listen, I stand on what I stand on. Sometimes it's better for you not to, to rock the boat. when things is rocky a little bit. I don't suggest that if you're married that you go get a maid and tell her, I'm going to get a house nanny while me and my wife is on a break. That don't work. That don't work. What you mean you on a break and you got a house? What you mean? You better take care of them. You better clean up yourself, Tyvis. If you trying to get back with your wife, that's not what you're supposed to be doing. And when you watch this, you're gonna be able to check out and see what I'm talking about.
The second that Joe Flacco won that award, his time was done here. The second that he won that award, he was off the board. And the reason that he was off the board is not because he can't play or threw 2 pick sixes or he washed out and flamed out or he had an expiration date. Joe was going to be Joe after he threw the ball that many times. And, it is what it is. It's because that Joe Flacco had already won a large group of the fan base. And I would say about 25-30% of the fan base really felt like Joe Flacco was the dude in waiting. And so when you got Deshaun Watson here, and I always tell people this, man, not so fast. Always look behind what's going behind the scenes, and people think it's conspiracy theories or knee-jerk reactions. No. The reality of the situation is the Cleveland Browns could not afford to have half of the fan base going into the season with Deshaun Watson and the idea of the fans saying, we'll take anybody but Watson.
And a lot of people thought it was what it was, Tyvis. You heard what I said right there. I stand on it. Yeah, and if you thought I was crazy, look at the way Twitter reacted. When they found out that they did not give Joe Flacco a contract, people was jumping off of buildings. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. I can't believe they did. You know why? Because in their heart of hearts, they was one of them 25% people that was waiting to cheer for Flacco. The second team balls was hitting the ground and not ready to be. I'm telling you, Tyvis, am I crazy?
Listen. No, we literally said this last year. I think me and Jason Lloyd was the only 2 people, well, maybe the only 2 people that was saying, y'all might as well enjoy this because I'm telling you, if he can win a Super Bowl, he ain't coming back here. It's just not going to happen. And I was saying it because of a locker room divide thing, which is still true. I still believe that would have been the case. But ultimately, when I look at them to go with Jameis Winston over Joe Flacco, you got to think, he did do what a lot of people said that he would do. He got into playoff games and he did fall right on his face. Like a lot of people kept saying, oh, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. And he did. He looked bad in his last performance here. But he did win this city over. Listen, it's not about Deshaun. Like, don't get me wrong. I think Deshaun has bigger fish to fry than worrying about who the backup quarterback was. Even if it was Joe Flacco. That shouldn't be what's on Deshaun's mind. But I do think that the Cleveland Browns want to make sure that they keep everything clear for Deshaun, so that's not another thing that you have to worry about. Like, I mean, just think about it. If Deshaun goes out there and throws 2 picks in the first game, they'll start chanting Flacco. Like, and that's another thing that he has to worry about. Now, I know a lot of people's like, well, he's making $230 million. He shouldn't be worried about what fans say anyway. But that's not the point. Like, you want to do good. And take it from me as an ex-professional athlete. The thing that pleases me the most is making sure that I'm doing everything that my teammates want and making sure that the fans are happy. Those are the 2 things that was near and dear to my heart. I wanted to make sure that I did everything I was supposed to do, that nobody was upset with me. If I went out there and people started cheering for my backup, like, I would feel disrespected, like, forget y'all, like that type of thing. We're supposed to be together. This is supposed to be fans and players are supposed to come together for the city and do everything we can that will help win a Super Bowl on our way to a Super Bowl. And once you get negative, it kind of messes up a player's head. And with Deshaun, with all the stuff that he already got going on, you don't want to put another wrinkle in that. So I think that that's what led to that as well. Is it the right move? We'll find out. I think Jameis Winston is fine. Like, Joe Flacco and Jameis Winston is about the same. I think it's an even wash because it's not like everybody's mad at Jameis Winston because he throws turnovers. It's not like Joe Flacco didn't throw a bunch of turnovers in those 6 games that he played. So it's the same thing. It's dead even. I don't understand why. Yeah, I don't know why people are so upset about that.
And listen, we had Joe Flacco on the sticks. We interviewed Joe Flacco. I asked him point blank, period. I said, listen, Joe, you believe you one of the best 32 gunslingers in this universe? He said, of course I do. Yeah, of course I'm a starter. I feel like I'm a starter. I feel like I show what I can do. Say. And that's what he should say. So for me, It wasn't no factor. And come on, people. Deshaun Watson didn't go to him and just be like, yo, you didn't bring it in, Joe. You're not doing that. Listen, the reality of the situation is this. What this move signified is it's all hands on deck with Deshaun Watson. We knew they was turning the keys over to him. We knew it. We understood it. But I don't think people really kind of got this organization is all in on Deshaun Watson. And you can jump, kick, scream. You know how it is. You got kids, right, Tyvis? Pretty soon, after they cry for a little bit, they just cry themselves out. And then they be snoring the next 5 minutes.
Yeah, man. I don't understand. People act like don't get me wrong. Was it fun with Joe? Yeah, it was fun. He was winning games, having all of those passing yards and seeing all those things. It was great. But you're not about to sit here and tell me, literally, let's be serious about this. Skill for skill, Joe versus DY. You really think Joe is outweighing DY? That's kind of crazy. The thing, don't get me wrong. I know Deshaun hasn't played to his full potential, and a lot of people are upset about that, and I get that. I totally do. But skill for skill, stop it. Stop it. Don't even do that.
Before I read this, first of all, people be trying to get it. G. Bush. I said, do you know how many Kool-Aid Mafia shirts I sold when Flacco was rolling? Do you understand? Do you understand the amount of volume and inventory we was moving when Joe Flacco was at the helm, bro? He was throwing for 300 a game, and I was calling it out. Do you think that I would come back up here and make a bad business decision and endorse somebody that was worse than Flacco? No, he's good for business. But shout out to him, man. And what else is good for business is this super chat. B-Dog21, thank you so much for the super chat. We appreciate you for supporting us. Love you, brothers. Next time I'm in, next week, let's grab a few wings. Crazy how Browns fans go right to the negative with Vrabel. Kevin is nowhere near the hot seat. Stop it. Go Bucks. Go Browns, right, man?
Yeah.
We love that.
After the season that Kevin just had, there's no way that you would get rid of a coach like that. You literally could take 31 other coaches and put them in the same situation that Kevin was in last year. They would not have the same results. So Kevin is nowhere near on the hot seat. Let's dead that right now.
Let's get one more in here, man. Soul Train says a lot of people are mad about Winston, but I think his personality is good in the locker room and a hype man for Watson and young DTR. See, you get it. He is all deflection. This is the great part about Jameis Winston. He's funny. If you need a clip or a bite, or if you in the media and you angry that the Browns were terrible last week, you could go right over to Jameis's locker and he gonna be over there giving interviews out. He's deflection at his best, and he might throw you a couple touchdowns with that as well, man. 232 people listening live. I want to say thank you for listening live, looking at what we're doing. And it's all courtesy of the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. If you're new here, we got shows 11 and 1. We got the Ultimate Browns. We got the Ultimate Cast. And watch out for the Ultimate Guardians. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe button. Tyvis, when we get back, we'll talk about the AFC North rankings after free agency. And there's a team. I don't really like how they're moving because they got a little bit better. It's G. Bush and Tyvis here on the Ultimate Cleveland Browns Show. We talked about it earlier, Ultimate Cavaliers. Shout out to Mikey McNuggets and Jason Lloyd for the Ultimate Cavaliers. They're on every Tuesday at 5 p.m. doing a good job over there. And this is crazy. They didn't let Mikey McNuggets get him some credentials. He all in there asking questions and everything. Shout out to them and what they're doing over there. Darius Garland like he want to play a little bit. Playoffs is coming up. If you want to keep in contact and keep track of everything, Cavs, Ultimate Cavaliers is the place to be Tuesdays at 5 p.m. And you can only get that here on the UCSS network. All right, Tyvis, let's get to this. We got the AFC North rankings, but before we do this, let's play this clip. There's a couple of people. The Browns got better. I believe they did get a lot better. We talked about Jerry Jeudy. We've talked about some of the guys like Jordan Hicks. Here's what my concern is. The AFC North got a little bit better too. And you'll know where I'm going with this when we play the clip.
They always hit.
They get Patrick Queen.
That's
and
a great
Patrick
sign.
Queen. First of all, how about the Ravens have lost
Patrick Queen to the Steelers and Geno Stone to the Bengals. Yeah. They lose 2 starters to division rivals.
So it's
not starters. Stone wasn't a starter. Last year it was. Yeah.
You still got Highsmith. You still got Watt. You still
Hayward's still there.
This is crazy. Once again, this is gonna be a murderer's row. And by the way, the Browns' schedule is brutal.
There's like maybe one game you look at as like that should be a pretty easy opponent.
Brutal.
But it's tough.
I mean, when you're playing those 2 teams back to they just got they got not exponential, but they're a lot better. Like they can get back to what the Pittsburgh Steelers want to do. Mike Tomlin's gonna have his aviator glasses is gonna be big as mine. Them boys is gonna be looking like windshields. He have his dog tags on, and he's gonna be running the football with Harris and Warren.
When you look at that, Tyvis, the Pittsburgh Steelers to me they had the most improvement. When you get Russell Wilson, 26 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. I know people want to say that's fool's gold, but when you take a look at what the Steelers did, they got Patrick Queen. They're physical on defense. Jalen Warren, Harris ran the ball well at the end of the year. They got Pickens. They just got Kenny Pickett up out of here via trade. They got him. First thing smoking, and then they got draft picks. They can go a number of places. They can go best available, get some help on the D line, maybe go secondary or another receiver because they got Deontay Johnson up out here too. So, and it's a deep receiver class. To me, the Steelers got the most. They improved the most in the AFC North. What say you?
I would definitely agree with you wholeheartedly on that one. I mean, just when we talked about them on the show, we thought that they was a quarterback away. I mean, this team, they made the playoffs, right? Yeah, they made the playoffs.
Yeah, they made the playoffs.
With quarterback controversy, they still found a way, and they turned it around late in the season. So, just with them, with Mike Tomlin alone, he just somehow finds a way to get into the playoffs. So you always have to be worried about that. But some of the moves they made, getting Russell Wilson in there, no, I don't think Russell Wilson is the greatest quarterback, but you look at the situation that he put himself in. He put himself in a situation that's similar to what Seattle had going on. Really good defense, really good running game that's got a 1-2 punch and got some playmakers at wide receiver. Well, now I only got one. I'm sure they'll get another one in the draft. So think about that. Like, he put himself in a situation. He's like, this looks similar to when I won a Super Bowl. Let me go back to a team that's like that. He knows how to perform in that type of offense, and I think that makes them dangerous. Getting Patrick Queen as an inside linebacker, that's great move. That defense is already great. But my biggest thing for them was trying to get another corner opposite of Joey Porter Jr. They trade Deontay Johnson for Dante Jackson, which is he's not the greatest corner, but he's solid and he's fast. Yeah, he's way upgraded than Patrick. Well, I ain't gonna say Patrick Peterson was a slouch, but Pat Pete wasn't the same Pat Pete that we see in the Arizona Pat Pete. So I think they defense is gonna be great. And as to me right now, I'm not gonna say they're the best team in the AFC because I got to see it all put together. But that game is gonna be really good. I mean, it's always good, but you got some guys that's some physical dudes. There's some guys that knows what it takes to win it all. Like that helps them become really good. So I would say right now they have the best offseason.
Yeah, listen, Julian Levy says, go Browns. As a fan base, let's lean on our defense heavily to win this division. The defense is crucial. Let's match the Steelers and the Ravens culture because we got that D. Yeah.
That's a big pause.
That's Julian.
That's big pause. The fact you should have just, once you typed that and knew that you had to put pause, you should have just said defense. You should have just wrote it all out.
That's crazy. I think your family members are calling in on this one. They're like, Julian, what's going on, cuz? This is nuts. See? Let's go. This is why we can't have nothing nice. This is why we can't have nothing nice, Tyvis. We get around and start hanging out and doing way too much. Mick the dog says, I say if you figure in all the Browns are getting back off injury, i.e. Chubb, Deshaun Watson, and what we will have resigned plus what we have added, I say the Browns has the best offseason so far. Really quickly, Tyvis, I wanted to get this in too. I want to get your thoughts on Jerry Jeudy, and there was another super chat right here. Winston's going to be good. Hype man for Deshaun Watson and DTR. I agree with that. Let's get to this. I want to ask you really quickly before we go, about 60, 90 seconds here. What are your thoughts on Jerry Jeudy? I think he's a really upgrade, but you know how Steve Smith feels about it. What are your thoughts? I'm gonna ask a Cleveland dude, so we don't want to ask nobody outside of Cleveland. See, we're gonna do some content. So Cleveland guy, home state guy, what do you think about Jerry Jeudy?
I think that when the Browns made this move, they looked at Amari Cooper agent and said, let's get a guy who can be just like Amari Cooper, and Jerry Jeudy is that. Let's go get a guy that who is Jerry Jeudy's idol? Amari Cooper. Who runs really good routes? Jerry Jeudy, also Amari Cooper. So I think this is one of those things where it's like, let's see if we can get this to work, because as we know, Amari Cooper is aging and he's probably on the back end of his career, even though he just had a great year last year. He's probably on the back end on his career. So they're like, cool, groom Jerry Jeudy up for us, teach him how to be a Cleveland Brown, teach him how we like things in this offense. And, when you decide to retire and we move off from you, we got a guy that can be a great replacement there. The one thing about Coop, though, and I remember I was talking to my boy Sherm about this. We was talking about, because when Jeudy first came to the league, I was with the Denver Broncos, and I was like, yes, that's the guy that they should sign. Jeudy got a little bit too much shake to him. Usually when guys get to the top of the route, they hit you with a 1-2. He got a little bit too much. Yeah, it's a little bit too much. That kind of makes things a little delayed a little bit, but his routes is really good. He just got to eliminate the shake. Just one little extra shake. He got to take it off, and he'll be fine. I think he'll thrive in his offense. It's a contract year for him and Elijah Moore and Amari Cooper for that standpoint. So I think all three of them are going to be hungry. You go get a guy that's going to be hungry to have some production because they want to get the bag. So I think this is a great move for the Cleveland Browns. He's not my favorite, but giving up a fifth and a sixth round for a guy that's a first round talent, you take that every day. It's a great business move by AB and the Browns.
You know what? Listen, and what's always a great business move is having Tyvis Powell breaking it down in the building. See, that's the problem with you other places. You got to go find you somebody that actually did it. So, right now, the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show got it locked up. We done got Tyvis over here. Quincy be on the show now. All the rest of y'all cats, I'm just saying, bro, y'all got to get it secondhand, bro. You know what it is, man, as always. But 275 people in here, make sure you salute. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit that notification bell because we got updates coming. If they sign somebody tomorrow, Mikey McNuggets will be waking up at 5 a.m. Talk about you ready. 5 a.m. ready to go. Earl be ready to go. You know what I'm saying? With his hair tied up. Ready to with everything Cleveland Browns. So we continue to do that. With that being said, you already know it. It's the fastest 30 minutes in all sports. And it's right here on the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show Network. It is Ultimate Cleveland Browns. Salute to all you Browns fans out there. And I'll do this as a Bobcat. Go Bobcats. We'll talk to you guys later. Peace.